Hey, 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 y'all. Wow. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time.
Listen, I'm trying to make sure that we are live. Just taking a couple seconds to tag people. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, let's see. You guys go ahead and start tagging people, tag people, because y'all know y'all start seeing us come up here. It's about to be a whole thing. So go ahead and tag your people, and let them know that we are live. We are live. Like, when have y'all seen this? It's been a long time, so y'all know we talking about something that we are coming live. So hey guys, hey y'all, hey everybody. Oh my gosh, hey ma'am.
Hi.
Listen. Ooh, we had a time this last year.
And I agree 1,000%.
So
1,000%.
some people are like, wait a minute, this are they seeing double? Are they seeing tricks? Right. So some people know us as the Wellness Chicks. Some people who may not know that who we are. We are the Wellness Chicks. So I'll go ahead. My name is Sequoyah Ashe Taylor. I am a pediatric functional and lifestyle medicine practitioner, amongst every other thing. Now I'm a gardener girl. Like, I'm a farmer. Child, listen, we trying to do all kinds of things, right? So I think I'm a plant parent, and I ain't working out so well. Just going and doing different things. So, ma'am, introduce yourself and let the people know what you've been up to.
Child. So, hello, everybody. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Nicole Davis, founder of Healing Through Experiences. We are a integrative nutrition wellness coaching company that does array of things. So I'm also now a Reiki master teacher. Um, I am. What else have I done? It's been so much. I've authored a book, as we're going to talk about. I help people find their own formula. So you know us from pretty much getting down to the root, right? So once you get down to the root of things, now what is your formula? That is your wellness life, like part of your whole lifestyle. We have food lifestyles, we have living lifestyles, and all that encompasses all of that. So I work with you to identify what that wellness journey is through a 6 or 12 month coaching program, and a virtual, or if you're in the New England area, we can do in-person stuff too.
Listen, so for many of you, like she said, when you see us before from like Wellness Chicks, and we do have that stuff coming back, you guys. We just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we've been in school, we've been trying education.
I didn't think I was going to do that.
Right. I didn't think I was gonna do this doctor program either for this traditional naturopathy and this functional medicine. But hey, this is what rolls around. Since then I've done the pivot to not even see adults, see children only, and that's been it's been amazing, but it's been a whole whirlwind too. And just continue those type of things. We do in functional medicine, we do the genetic testing, lab testing. We have different programs, we have coaching programs as well, that we do. So we have individual programs and we have coaching programs as well. So it's the whole thing. And so a lot of people are like, you guys have been quiet. I'm like, we've been working.
We've been working. We really, really have been. And I think what's also important to note that working on projects and tangible things, but most importantly, working on self. I definitely know for me, working on self, understanding self, realizing power, still releasing old things. And when new things come back up, dealing with health issues, a whole array of things. If you follow me on Healing Through Experiences, I also have a toxin-free group. I battled severe back pain, like crippling back pain, to where I was like, what in the, I didn't know. What? Yeah, I didn't know.
I knew about it, but I'm saying, what?
I know, I was like, what? Yeah, I did. It was a very scary time. I really, not many moments, moments I can say in my adult years, thankfully, but this one was
Look, look, I'm gonna hold you. So I've entered the dirty 40s now. So, that was in April, but I had a huge issue with TMJ. Like, And people are like, that's your pelvic floor, and you, what are you not saying? And I'm like, I've been talking and doing a lot of work. I mean, I guess I'm supposed to be back out here doing this, but we haven't been doing the lives and being more in person because we've been doing stuff that, we've been through life and the schooling and education. And like you said, I tell people all the time, I go to funerals all the time. That's why I don't go to them in real life, because I've been to many deaths and a lot of them been my own, right? And so those things that come up, but yeah, mine was TMJ, and it started with like a swollen jaw. They kept saying, "It's your tooth." I'm like, "It's nowhere in my tooth." They keep saying it's the gland. Then it was like having actual my jaw locking up and wearing a patch on it.
Mm.
I definitely understand when you say that sometimes when we're going through this transition, this process, it's a lot of it like healing and releasing yourself. You're doing the true work. That's why I tell people I don't have time to worry about everybody else stuff. I mind the business that pay me, because you stuff, and as you release certain stuff, it will cause you to have most of the time will be a physical manifestation, but it has a spiritual meaning behind it. It could
Yes.
have emotional meaning behind it. And so when we say, when you're hearing us saying get to the root cause, we're not just talking about a physical thing. I know you guys see me post my food a lot. I'm like, but over on the wellness side, I barely really care about what you eat. Like I'm not.
Right.
Now you have to do this. I'm worried about like minerals and vitamins, stuff like that. But I'm not the person who is going to be worrying about only nutrition. It's a whole, like you said, Nikki says, find your formula. And I'm all about, finding the stress and the mess.
Got to find a formula in that.
Right.
What does that look like? How do we change
Right.
that? And so even the way I look at, you speaking some words there, even the way I look at, because of my new training, I had a really good time with that program and
Mm,
becoming a certified coach. Um, it was reframing, your mindset and how you look at nutrition, right? We think of
mm,
nutrition as what we're eating. And so what I cover in my one-on-one and group coaching is we got it all twisted. We really, really do. And until we understand that part, until we understand our 12 areas of our life, how that fuels what you put in your mouth, so that you then look at your primary foods as your spiritual, financial, physical, relationships, career, all of those things first. That's your primary food. Then it becomes your secondary food of what you actually are ingesting into your mouth, because you respond differently. So we
mm.
identify, I have like this whole little circle of life thing that I use. It's
Right.
so much fun, but it's like it's like, for me, I know when I saw it and I was like, eureka, this is crazy,
Right.
because it's actually, you're literally able to measure, where you are in your life and what you really want to work on. So your circle now is not jagged, it's actually becoming more of a circle. It's not going to be a perfect circle, because nothing is perfect. However, if you're moving the needle that much more, you will see that your own result of having a more fulfilled life, having a more happier life, which means then you are choosing better options. When you eat food, you are understanding the mindfulness of recognizing that my body is not asking for that Snickers bar that I normally have a craving for.
Nice.
um, it's not asking for that. It's asking for a piece of fruit. It's asking for more water. So Sequoyah talks about water all the time. And it's really, really important to understand those signals that we give our that come up for us. So whether it's an ailment or a craving, why are continue to ask the questions. I've asked more questions now. More and
Right.
more questions.
And I think it's very important what you said, especially that people, it used to be 8, now they're saying it's 12, right? Areas of wellness. But the key thing that I think that people don't realize is that if it's a circle, right? So you really don't know where it starts and there's no ending. It could keep going on. So if it was tied into my emotional, but was it emotional because of finances? Was it because of a relationship? Was it
Okay.
because so all those things? Was it something what happened when I was 12 years old? Those that so all those things are all and make one big pie, right? I could take a slice out of the pie, focus on it, but the rest of the pie, some of it may have a little brown spot on it we didn't pay attention to, and now that's what caused this to end up over here. So it's always the circle is never beginning and never ending. It's continual.
Mhm.
It's always
Mhm.
this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And I think a lot of times when people are doing that, um, it causes it when we talk about. That's why we are careful about using like the word health. We'll say wellness because all those areas of wellness impact you. For and me, I'm always about the DNA. You have a spiritual DNA, you have a succession
All
DNA,
the time.
all that, right? And that's why, because we're made up of so many things. And then we start to my DNA. What is that made up of? Oh, man, we could do this all day, right? And I think people don't understand that when they are focusing on their wellness, that one piece of the puzzle, and that's what we do. I'm not the practitioner. I don't do things traditional way. That's why I went to traditional naturopath and not licensed. Board certified will be, but there are certain things that when I'm looking at a puzzle piece, 100-piece puzzle, and your doctor said, I'm pulling out this piece here, and I'm like, oh yeah, but I looked at 5 over here,
Exactly.
and I looked at piece number 17 because piece number 17 looked like it's in place, but it's a little quicker. It's a little space in between that. And we're looking at it as a whole, not just one piece. Oh, you came in for high blood pressure. Well, that's one piece. What about the other 99 pieces? And that's what happens when you have somebody who is, we can say all these fancy names and all that kind of stuff, but that's what happens when you get to the root cause. And it is a never-ending story. Literally, is a never-ending
It's a
story.
never-ending story because, yeah,
to
I'm so happy to hear that, while we have individually been doing our own thing, everything that we do continues to work together, and it has elevated together. I'm listening. I'm like, yeah, I know what she's talking about now, because I have now done a deeper dive into all of these things, right? And I'm like, this makes so much more sense. And so I'm still able to have those conversations or bring back the knowledge from, learning from you, learning from what we learned on our wellness scans, about everything that I've learned now. Like it just all, there's a pieces to the puzzle, and I'll share a very, very personal story right about now. For the last, year, maybe year, 2 years, can't even remember. I've been studying Reiki. So I just graduated in March, I believe. So prior to that, that was a whole other.
That sounded like that DNA. When I did that DNA activation, I was like, yeah, this is next.
You did that. It was your fault. Thank you.
Oh,
I'll give you that. Thank you. But so what came up for me is I went to get my mammogram. Ladies, go get your mammogram. Men, get your mammogram if you need to, also, because men can get breast cancer. So I went to get my mammogram, and so they saw some things, right? And so we went, gonna send you to the sonogram. So we went down the whole litany of the whole medical system. Love you. And they said, okay, we're going to monitor you. So we'll go do every 6 months. It's 2 years ago. We're going to monitor you every 6 months. So I started doing the Reiki on myself, and I was receiving it from other people, getting it from other people, and I was being really conscious about that. And so this year, I'm gonna fast forward. This year, I go to get the new MRI done. The sonogram and the MRI and mammogram, all of those. They don't see a thing. My doctor texted back. She was like, I don't know what they saw before, what mass they saw, but it is not there now. I literally just broke down when the lady told me when I was finished with the exam. But I was just like, I had to think about, what was I doing? What changed?
You were doing well care, not sick care.
Right. Like I'm like, I seriously helped myself. Like, and mind you, I was going, I was doing my grounding. I was going to my my Reiki teacher and getting Reiki from her at the tippy top level, I was getting distance healing. I was doing a whole bunch of things. I was changing my eating. I was changing my thinking. I was releasing. I was journaling. I was working, walking around, just, but I didn't really focus on it. I knew something was happening, but I wasn't focused. I was actually literally focused on more of this new thing that I had learned that I can do. And I was enjoying it, which then I believe just kept giving back to me. So
listen, and people gonna catch on to that one day. I don't know if it's the day, but they're gonna catch on to that everything that we're doing. And when we say that, it is because people say, "Oh, you do this," I'm like, "Listen, that's why I did the pivot to kids, because if I could teach you at third grade or kindergarten, first grade, I'm scared of you because, and like you said, a personal story. I remember, it's a lot of things I do not remember. But, and I just recently ordered the books and I'm going to do a video about that later. When I was 10 years old, my maternal grandmother passed away. That was 10. I just told you I just turned 40.
Right.
And the only thing that I wanted from her house was this home remedy book. Now, think about it, a 10-year-old wanted a home remedy book, right? So I had the home remedy book, and through the years, I don't know where this book was. I have, you know me, y'all see my book hauls. I'm always with some health. I'm like, I don't know when the last time I read something for pleasure, but the home remedy book. And so as I was getting ready to take this journey after I had got my bachelor's and my dad passed and we did all this other stuff, I'm like, what is the next step? Because I know is these missing pieces. We have the functional medicine. We can test you to literally to death. I can test you every test. And I was like, still the next piece. What is it? Once we find out the information, the distress and the mess, the healing piece of that, right? And so I remembered this book. And then the book, the very first time I healed myself, I was 10 years old. I'm allergic to ant bites. I got bit by an ant and it started to swell, and the book, it tells you how to do it. So I bought the book, and that was my Mother's Day gift to myself. It's like a nostalgia thing, and I'm gonna post it. But they also have one for kids, and I'm like, so of course I got to buy the one for kids because now I'm, I'm gonna give it to the kid. But it was so nostalgic to open that page of that book and say 30 years ago, I had this inkling and knew that I could heal myself then. So along the way of all this, me having to release stuff, was unlearning a lot of stuff that I really do have the power to heal myself. I have the power to change it. I have the Ashe. It's always been there. So when you convert off these roads and you keep doing the things you want, so I'm like, okay, well, that definitely makes sense. And that's why I'm going for the traditional naturopath and not try to go and do what the medical people say. Do this natural thing. Use essential oil, use a cell salt, use a, like you said, a Reiki, or use a, tap into the emotional piece of it. It's not one thing. And so we have these things that kind of help you collide. Like you said, we're on these different paths, but you have things that will help you come back into collide to say, this is what you're supposed to be doing. It doesn't matter. Because at 10 years old, I'm like, I knew I wanted to do something medical and all this kind of stuff, but I didn't understand. But I knew that if I did the stuff in that remedy book, it was going to heal me.
Right.
Like I wasn't questioning. I wasn't walking around, well, maybe it's said for ant bites, put the salt on it and draw it up, But I remember the first time I did something to heal myself.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And so doing that, so speaking of that, right, and understanding we have that process, as we're growing, Miss Ma'am over here, over there, let me do that over there. I done wrote a book and a workbook. That's all that mess that she was talking about, all this work and schooling that we've been doing. Doing that because while I'm over here worrying about dissertation papers and research studies and publishing stuff and reading these articles that y'all keep wanting to tell me stuff, and I'm like, please don't talk to me unless you got an article, a medical journal article, because I get them delivered to my email. So, but this one over here was in school, but she also was writing too. So most people gonna think that this book is about a nutrition. Most people gonna think this book is about a Reiki.
Right.
Most people gonna think this book is about integrative health. Can you please tell them what this book is about?
As the title of the show is called, it's a workbook, and they're both two digital products. Developing a relationship with no. And I want to say that we covered that a couple years ago, or around that. So I believe so in one of our wellness checks episodes, possibly.
However, because when I heard the topic, I was like, of course. And for me, it was during that era of me releasing the whole people pleasing and doing stuff with what people want to do.
That's what it was.
I was like, I gotta start saying no, even no to myself, and I gotta let that die. Like those type of things. But people are thinking you automatically gonna say, oh, it's a no to other people. No, baby, the most person you gotta say the no to is you.
It's you, because that's true. I need to probably do a rewrite and put that in there. You're absolutely right. But they're short. They're both of the products are short. So because our attention spans are not that long, and so the workbook is a guide to have you work through some prompts. But then the actual ebook. So if you want it, there goes the information right there. You can text book to that number, 860-815-8602. And so the book takes you on a little journey, on an insight into me being a recovering people pleaser. Also, epiphanies that I had, about where that even stemmed from. And so I actually have a little blurb in there around how I realized where this came from, that the ability or feeling like you had the ability not to say no when you did. And so it goes back generations, of course. However, the permission, giving yourself the permission to say no, it's not disrespect. I'm surrounded by a lot of women who, we all have a lot on their plate, right? And we feel like we have to keep on piling up more. But then you're tired, you're exhausted, you have brain fog, you're gaining weight, or you're emotionally eating. And it was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, why when do we stop? Right? Or we are saying yes to situations that we really don't want to, and emotionally it is like, it literally is killing you,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And all of these things that I can relate to, that just, send you into a high stress mode, a negative stress mode that you don't need to be in, all because you're so used to just saying yes all the time. I did it for years. And I talk about recalling the first time somebody told me to say no. I was a teenager, and I would say yes to everything. And because I'm a Libra, so we're just nice people. And I come from a very diplomatic approach to pretty much everything, right? And I like people to have a positive outlook. So yeah, if that meant me doing something for you and that's gonna make you happy, yeah, I've done it to the detriment of myself for years,
Mm.
to the
Look, pa-
detriment of myself.
look, pause. Because I really don't think that we understand that. At least to me, being an Aries, I
I
felt like
know,
I never had a problem with saying no. Because when somebody told us, no is a complete sentence. I'm like, girl, I've been through that. But
right?
I was doing it in a way where no was not the complete sentence when it came to me doing something, because I'm like, oh, I want to prove you wrong. I was worried about what someone would think. I was worrying about how this was going to affect the other person. So it wasn't no my capacity or no to myself. I would deny myself of a lot of things, but it was always external. Was my struggle to say, well, if I don't do this, what are they going to think? And what are people going to think about this? And what's going to happen if I say no? And if I say no, then I'm being mean. And if I say no, what if I miss an opportunity? And it was that too, the potential of stuff. So you say yes because it seems like it's a cool thing to do. Now I'm like, girl, let's leave with
No.
no, and then I figure out if it's a maybe. You say
Well,
no
yeah,
first.
right.
It's no. And I
It
learned that from Lisa Turkis. It was called the best yes. Sometimes the best yes you can give is a
is
no.
a
Because
no.
if I'm not giving you my 100% and I'm not able to put it, maybe somebody and that happened when I built the team. I started having a tribe. When I built a tribe for me and my children. I was like, look here, I can say no, and somebody else gonna do it. Like I got the
That
best of
right
the
there
world.
is like mind blowing. But would you see what you just said? You built your tribe, the
Mm-hmm.
trusted tribe, so that you gave yourself permission to say no. There's so many people that feel like they can't. And again, I was that person too. I feel like I have to do everything, especially mothers. You feel like you have to do everything, be everything, go everywhere, do this and do that. And you are tired, not let alone have to go to work,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're tired, you're drained, and the people around you are just continuously taken from you because this is what they expect you to do. This is what has been traditionally done. And so now, I came to a point where it was like, yeah, no, no, because if I knew my health is failing, my mental capacity was failing, I'm not feeling comfortable at all. And my spirit, I've done, and Sequoyah, as you know, I've done a lot of spiritual work, a lot of introspection, to the point where my spirit won't even let me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I missed the mark. I still missed the mark. However, there's that activation that says, uh-oh, okay, all right, uh-oh,
Wait a
we,
minute.
we we said it too quickly. We said yes too quickly. However, it's okay. Woo woo woo. You'll be all right. And the
Mm-hmm.
next time, when you'll be able to identify it later, or not. Like I said, I can say now, about 70% of the time, yeah, I'm communicating what my needs are, what I don't want, my boundaries, right? And that's in work and at home or out in the streets, right? Or I'm speaking, and what I also learned was that you can't, if you think you have a boundary in place and you said it one time, it's not in place.
Mm. Yeah.
Eureka, another one. I was like, I said that already, but again, we're individuals, right? So we have individual things happening
Mm.
and going on. Nobody has any time to hold this little space in their brain. Oh, Nicole said this, da, da, da. No, because they're still in their own routine of how things used to go. So it's a constant job to then help someone. It's like practicing riding a bike. You have to keep on doing it. You have to keep on until their behavior reflects your boundary.
So do you think that you are getting better at setting boundaries and being able to say no because you are clear on what your career path is, what you want your marriage to be, what you want your relationships to look like, because you have a
Absolutely.
clear understanding of those things? Is it easier to know the boundary or to say, hey, that's a no because we're going over here, or that's a no because I don't want to. That's a no because I know what I want this to look like, and if I say yes, that changed my whole boundary. So is it
Yeah.
because you're clearer and you
Hmm.
have a better understanding of you as a person, how you're able to say no instead of just saying, oh, okay, yes, and I figured out, yes, and I figured out, yes, and I figured out, husband, yes, children, friends, job,
Hmm.
because you're saying, no, this is my boundary. I know I don't want to work this much. I only want to be on a level 3 most of my days. So if I have to get to a level 4, that's a no. And I'm telling, I'm like, hey, if that's not a four-way win, they tell you quick. They're like, you said no so quick. I said, because I counted 4 wins in my head. And if I get number 2 or number 3 and it doesn't collectively work, it's a no. And so because I've set the boundary and parameters and the M&Ms for that, if it gets to the 3rd win and I'm like, that's not gonna work,
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh no, it's a no. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Positive. It's a no. Because I have these, I guess it would be a boundary, but it's ways that I measure when I'm making a decision. It has to check those boxes, and I guess that's my boundary or the way I said it. But do you feel like because you're clear on that now you're able to say, nah, I know what no sound like, and it sounds really good.
Absolutely, because there's a resonance that happens within me. And I'm like, and so I've learned that if I learned I'm learning more of my human design, more of how I'm set up, and if it doesn't feel good to me, and if it's not flowing, it's
Mm.
a no. It's my body is saying no, my spirit is saying no. Now, whether my action says something different, that's totally two different things, right?
Mm.
So it's for me. I know I said yes to so many things so quickly and regretted it because I didn't pause. I didn't put a disclaimer in there or to say, because maybe I need to think about something like, hey, let me think about that, or I need some time with that, or I need some time to myself, or I'm not doing this at this juncture right now. Maybe we can revisit this in at a different time, or I'll let you know. Putting those types of things, it should, because you have some people that are very persistent. They want what they want. However, you then have to keep saying to them the same exact thing, like no, 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 until you're ready to say yes, if you are ever. So yeah, I'm getting a lot better with identifying what I do want and what I don't want. Getting a lot more confident in being able to say that and not caring. Let me see. I'm always caring, but not putting so much weight on the response from somebody else. Because, like you said earlier, we think, what are they going to think? What are they going to say?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, kick rocks. Like then this is not your season for me. You know what I mean? It's
You know
not.
my
It's just
philosophy.
not. I mean, I've always had, oh, the kumbaya. Everybody come on in. Everybody can't go.
She
Everybody.
nice. She nice because they know my philosophy is the 3 F's.
We
So
do know those. We
so,
we we
so
do know those.
but and I bet if people
And
like you
those, and
said,
that's still true too. And that's a
but
parameter, boundary,
it is still
whatever.
hard. Look, now I have smiling faces or little kid faces. Miss Taylor, you said. I'm like,
Right.
oh. So now it's the whole
It's
thing of
still
like
your
now you want
choice.
to pediatrics and think you want me to say no, and I find myself saying no with explanation though. And like I
Mhm.
said, being around children who are the pure heart and know the boundary, I'm able to say no, but it's not like it's bad. And
Right.
I think for me it was rooted in childhood. Like how many times do you get told no till you
Mhm.
already kind of expect it? You're like, baby, you ain't never died from nobody telling you no.
Right.
So now it's a no, but then why? Why is this? It's either learned behavior or you haven't had enough experiences yet. So when I'm
Mhm.
saying no, most of the time it's for their own safety, it's for their own
True.
good, right? So the
True.
best yes I could give is a no. And I
True.
think even being in that experience, in being like I have 2 Libras at my house, Father God. I mean, a Libra and Aquarius have 2 air signs. And baby,
We're the best ever in life.
that youngest one, that Aquarius is baby is it's gonna be what she said a no. Ain't no, it's what she said.
She's gonna
And the
figure out how to get what she wants.
Libras are, it has to be balanced in their scale. So even when you're learning relationships, not just like your romantic relationship with your friendship, my friendship with Nikki, I have to know her boundaries. I have to know what is she gonna do. And we joke easily say, oh, she's a Libra, but there are things about her that I had to learn over the years. I'm like, yeah, I probably want to do that. Mm-hmm. I need to respect and I need to know that she's gonna set a boundary for that. There are certain days, sometimes I'm not gonna call her. She set that boundary for that. Hey,
yeah, and I'm not gonna play with Sequoyah. If I'm not ready to do something, I'm not gonna come half-assed because she ain't playing.
Girl, you better say that for them in the back because the new people, they're like, oh,
she ain't playing.
I'm just quiet, baby.
If you've never met her, or if you've never met her in the full capacity, if there's a project idea or whatever, you better come with a plan. You better become ready to work. You better be able to be on time. And yeah,
I'm stirred so you can learn. That's my new motto with kids at the school. She's stirred so you can learn. And
and
those type of things that you do, but in a lot of that, I had to do a lot of self-checking because there were things, and in that aspect, that's my next question. What does a relationship with no look like? Because can I get so no happy that I just don't want to, so I'm gonna say no. I don't like her, so I'm gonna say no. When I probably should have thought about it another way and say, hey, this is business, it's not personal, right? Mm-hmm. Did I miss opportunities because I said no, and really no, because it's gonna come back around if it needs to? What does a relationship with no look like as I'm on this journey? Is it permanent? Does it change? Is it seasonal? Is it depending on the person I'm talking to? My relationship with no with you is totally different than my relationship with no with my kids.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so you have to, and that's when you have to then, so several things. The relationship with no constantly gets refined, or it should constantly get refined, because everything changes. Your mind changes, your ideologies change, your passions change. So that's the relationship with yourself. And so you should give yourself grace through that process. Like I said, yeah, I might tell somebody no, and I really don't want to say no to them because of the affinity, the love, or whatever. However, that's not really what I want to do right now. So am I going to sacrifice myself even more for their happiness while I'm sitting here like, oh God? Or am I going to either find a different compromise, or to say, this is a no for me, and you might want to find something else to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And understand that, yeah, there's going to be that turbulence. It's going to be that turbulence through any transition, through any way we're trying to help people learn us, or we're trying to teach people how to treat us if they've done something on their own and they didn't get their own playbook. So with this, you have the power, you have the blessings to write your own playbook of how you want to interact or don't want to interact. And that goes for your partners, that goes for your children, parents, friends, or whatever. You have people that I can't not answer the phone. Why not? Ain't nobody house burning. And how about this? I will call you back.
Like, and I'm like, and listen, that was another thing, like with family, like, and I think, like you said,
family is hard.
Does that, and I think that's what I was learning from the book, right? That I have the power to say no, but then what does that no look like? And I thought going into, before I read the book and went into it, it was singular.
Right.
I was like, oh, when I say no, I say no, but it's plural or duality. It has duality because my no, like I said, to you as a friend, sister, there's somebody over here, like my children, versus what I would take in a relationship versus my parents. Those relationships with no's look different because of the boundaries, because of my belief system, because of my experiences, my confidence, like you said, all those things. So for those people who think like me that you have a good relationship with no and you just know how to say no, don't like scared over this. This is definitely a book and a workbook that you should take time with, because it develops the relationship with you first. Yeah. You have to be able to tell yourself no. No, I shouldn't drink that Pepsi and peanut Sequoyah. No. No, you should not. And they're like, you're supposed to eat healthy food all the time. I'm like, baby, don't let that fool you. That's accountability. You should walk 10,000 steps today, Sequoyah. You should drink water today. Right? I should. And so even with me being able to tell myself no to certain stuff, telling myself no and telling the kids no is totally different. So if you are someone who needs to develop a relationship with no or revisit your relationship with no, you definitely go ahead and hit that textbook to 860-815-8602
Yes,
so that
ma'am.
you get the information, because it is not only a book for you to read, it's a workbook, so you're working in tandem with the book
Yes.
and for you to be able to do that. So
And I will say, and I will disclaim. So we definitely have several dynamics of relationships out there. And what I do make sure that I understand and represent is that not every relationship, they may not be in a safe situation, so that they may not be able to say no. But however, if there is something that is igniting within you that yes, you want to say no, and you're not sure how to do that in a safe manner, then I suggest that you reach out to some services, domestic violence, intimate partner violence, whatever, another service to then help you shepherd that, whether it's a counselor or someone to help you if you're ready to remove yourself from that situation and be able to, but create a plan to be able to safely do that. Because yeah, there's a lot out there that some people they feel that they can't say no. And it's like you may not be able to say no to this person. However, you have options. You have resources that can assist you in that journey, and it may be a very long journey. But I say stick in there, and I pray for all of those people because it's not an easy situation when you feel like you might be trapped. So just wanted to put that out there.
do we have any questions or comments? We'll be here for a couple more minutes, but listen, go ahead and hit text book to 860-815-8602 because you know when we go, it gotta be a reason for me to come live. Y'all know I'm gonna do that.
I know. I was like, oh yes, let's go.
This book because for me it was the anytime I'm able to have a aha, like I said, read something that's not.
And I appreciate that. I need that feedback because you write, but I wanted this to resonate, even if you've heard the stories before, even if you've heard this before. Sometimes you weren't able to receive it then, but you're in a different place now, and it makes more sense. And you were able to, oh, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can try these little steps. Little steps. That's the one thing I can say now. Do little steps and little experiments on yourself.
And the no for me, like for me, it was the aha moment was that yes, it was a congrats, Sequoyah, you have got to a certain level. But my relationship with no is, hey, no, you do not get to have limiting beliefs. No, you do not get to live your purpose. No, you're not gonna not do this program because this is what you have been called to do. Hence, that's why I'm gonna slap you back in the face when you're 10 years old, right? No, you do not get. So now it's not. No, it's not a bad thing.
No.
Me telling myself no, your mindset is get up and write this paper. Go, no, read these. No, you're not giving up. It's gonna be this year. No, why? Because I have children and I have kids, and many people that are waiting on me on that level. Can I serve you? You know, we can serve the best right now. But there's a level that is ready for me to come to. I'm on this level. I could probably go ahead and leapfrog 3 or 4 levels with this next step. So no, I can't waste time. No, I can't procrastinate. So my relationship with no to me right now is not negative. It's not that I'm denying myself anything. Right. I'm actually correcting and stopping behaviors that were limiting to me.
Exactly.
Oh, I have more time. No, you don't. You just find out your daddy was dead in the room. Like you do not, right? So those things come up, and you're like, you don't have time.
Yeah.
You don't have time. So no, you don't. And I think those are things that when you look at the relationship with no, that's why this is a rather read and a workbook that you need to do because you automatically, because people gonna come in with preconceived no. Oh, I know how to say no, girl. I know how to say no.
That's do you? What are you saying no to and why? Right. So if you're saying no to yourself, you're saying no to growth. You're saying that, and that's not covered in the book. But if you're saying no to growth, if you're saying no to expansion and abundance and all of these things, and you're not even aware of it, you know what I mean? So it's again, there's a duality in everything, everything. So I appreciate and honor always our time, and I thank you for providing this platform once again to share, because people need to know. I think we're all in a position now where, well, many of us are in a position now that we're looking for some change for the better. Right? We got a lot of crazy happening around us, and it's like, okay, where can I find some peace? And the peace resides and lives within you. So what can you do to that? How do you say no say no to watching the news, say no to, scrolling on social media. Take a break, you know what I mean? Look at more positive things to retrain your algorithm to share better things with you. Don't, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many options out here for us to assist us that may not even cost you anything. But again, you have to want to do the work, because there's just still some work. There's always work when we're talking about ourselves. So I hope more people will you know give me a chance, and go ahead and text booked 860-815-8602. Check it out. I'd love feedback. Or there's an area that you want me to dive deeper into. Like I said, it's a quick read. So it's not 300 pages. I want to say 30 pages.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because then you had the workbook. You doing
The workbook is like 21 pages.
Yeah, I was stopping and writing stuff like that.
Yep. So yeah, and it's digital, so you'll receive the digital copy, and you can print it out as many times as you need to. If you writing like, oh nope, I got to change it again. Like put it somewhere where, like, put it in your journal, or put the prompts in your journal and just write it out. So
yep.
It was fun.
Well, look, she have another interview. Look, she was up there doing all the other stuff. We gotta look. So look, listen. First of all, we want to thank you guys so much for our people who have been wellness chicks down and have been, healing through experience. Ashe Wellness down. You guys have been asking us like, where y'all been? And y'all been quiet. We really appreciate it, right? But as you can see, we coming back with the good. We got the fruit to come back to you, right? So we will start doing these things a little bit more. We have been making personal adjustments, business adjustments. So we do plan to come back to you guys and start giving you these type of talks again. We are so gracious and so thankful to you guys for sticking with us. I wanted to hear these topics being addressed stuff again. So thank you for that. Number two, you need to get the book. So if you haven't already text book to 860-815-8602. Go ahead and get into the thing, get the book. Like, I'm not going to tell you how much it costs, because it don't cost nothing like that. Like, go ahead and get it. It ain't even that serious. Go ahead and get this book. You could, like she said, you could print it. You could do it digitally. But go ahead and get into that type of stuff, and then you can add it to the groups and get support and all that good jazz, right? To be able to have the information, because this is one of many topics that we have talked about before. So
I'm working on like 3 others right now.
Right. Listen, they kicking my behind like these books. Like, now the chat. Get some friends. Get you one of those. Get you a tribe that make you step your game up in the right way. Because now,
I will tell you, you definitely have been that over the years. So I appreciate that. I'm like, shoot, let me get my stuff in gear.
And listen, she the same way.
You know you're going to be called upon, so you better be ready. You know what I mean? It's about be ready for God. You better be ready for Sequoyah, because she's ready.
But now I'm the one get called out, because all of them are authors, and I'm there like, where's this children's cookbook? And you do the snap book. Where's that book? And where's this book about this God and garden? I'm like, it's kind of like. And so listen, get you one of these, get you some of these, some people that will push you to do stuff. Because I'm the type of person that's saying, what are we doing? And so my tribe are like, wait a minute now, what are we doing? I thought we was doing this.
Right.
It is a we thing, like, because all of us are affected by these things. And in this season of uncertainty, in this season of not knowing, get you some of these, some people that are not gonna let you sit down. And what are we doing? I thought we were supposed to be doing this. What happened to this? Now the change, it can change. You can pivot. You better you better go and say, well, no, I pivoted. We're gonna do this now. To get the new page. But it's all in love. Like the same way she said about me, I feel about her, because I'm like, oh man, now I got to get on here and act like I could type. I want to talk. Her and a couple other ones. I got a couple other friends I'll be interviewing who have books that came out this stuff. And so in this season, it's all about being the best you that you can be, because it's all that you have, y'all. Like,
it's all you have is you, and that's the beautiful part about it. It's like we get one vessel. What are we doing with it? I know for years. I mean, in my 46 years, I haven't taken the best care of it. And so it's been in the last maybe 10 years that I'm again figuring stuff out. I'm having to figure out a new formula, because what I was able to do before, I can't do anymore. So it's like, now I'm like, what can I do? I'm in the mindset of what can I do now?
Don't scare me, because look, I hit that foot at the jaw. I said, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I will tell
Woo!
anybody as we continue to age, more stuff is starting to purge. So that's when you have these ailments and things that are just popping up out of the
Mhm.
body. Like, where did that come from? Yeah, contact me. I'll tell you what the problem is real quick. I've studied how the emotions are trapped in the body and where and why. That's how I know I was able to self-diagnose myself. That's why doctors couldn't figure it out. They were telling
Right.
me it was sciatica, it was bursitis, it was this and that. I was like, nope, this is all emotion.
Yep.
This
And
is
that's
all
what I think
emotion.
with my TMJ. They said it was pelvic, something pelvic floor. I'm like, you guys, but I did the most movement I don't did in my ever my life. Have you never walked around the school with some children? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
And
think
so that's your life force because you're now, you know what I mean? That's your
right.
life
So
force.
like, mine was definitely an emotional thing too, which I find is very interesting. And it
Mm-hmm.
was the what was I not saying? Like the emotional stuff to some of your ailments are that. But listen, y'all want more information about that when you for your children? Because remember, we got a sleep study coming up, so we're gonna tell about y'all what's going up next. Starting on the 19th, Ashe Wellness has our annual 10-day sleep study. This year is geared toward the children. So if your children are not getting the best sleep possible they can, trust me, sleep is the most important thing that you can do for free. Notice I didn't say eating, sleep, right? So make sure you go to bit.ly/ sleep challenge 2024, bit.ly/ sleep challenge 2024 to sign up. It is all by email. And I do like a nightly on our page. We'll do like a little mini video, nothing major. You get the information in your email. So sign up and subscribe. It is free to do that. If you need any services in our help, make sure you come to us for that. And then Ms. Nikki gonna tell you where you can go at to reach her.
Well, healing-experiences.com, healing through experiences on all social media platforms. I'm actually going to be doing another conversation about how full is your cup of love on Blog Talk
Mhm.
Radio, Deja's Cafe at 7 o'clock tonight. And if you want to just call on Blog Talk Radio to listen to that, it's 917-889-7806. I think I had already reposted that on my social media. So please follow. Text the book. I'm working on some, and if you're interested in a consultation to see if we're a good fit for my program, please do. You can also, like I said, my website or social media. I'm there, and I appreciate this very much, very, very much.
Oh, you already know. So you guys listen. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sequoyah Ashe Taylor. I am the CEO and founder of Ashe Wellness, and we will be talking to you again on another episode of our Talk Thursday. But remember, develop a relationship with No and text book to 860-815-8602. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thank you.